you're having a party, you've invited a mixture of people, introverts, extroverts, you want everyone to feel comfortable, relaxed. What can we do to make everyone have a good time, get in the party spirit and mingle better? What's some of the key things we can do?
Well, I know I've had a party before and it was thrown for me for my hens. And I had a drag queen and it was just a sit down dinner. But the drag queen played games and got us all to answer questions, and since that, from her doing that, everyone was talking. Like I had aunties from both sides, like my side and my partner's side, and they were all just like mingling and talking. And then we went out and we had a dance and we all danced together because we knew we started to know each other.
Yeah. So it made everyone feel comfortable and relaxed from the beginning. Yeah.
And because I think they had a common theme, which was they were there for me, and she asked a question about me, they had something to kind of relate to. So
something to talk about.
Yeah.
It's just all really about sparking a mutual interest and point of conversation.
Yeah.
And so that really can be anything, whether it's drag queens, roving entertainment. So it's just something to talk about.
Yeah.
And then it kind of sparks the conversation, and then usually you find that the conversation will kind of start to flow from there.
Yeah.
But you've at least given them something to talk about first, instead of like, hi, my name's Nicole, what's your name?
Yeah. I think the party host plays a big part in this.
Yes.
In that if you introduce and you say, Monique, this is Nicole, and and might say something common that they have in common or something like that, that can make a big difference at the start of the night. It is a little bit of work for the host at the beginning of the night to introduce everybody, or not necessarily go around and introduce you to everybody in the room, but introducing groups of people to different people just to get that mingling starting, and then you drag other people into the conversation or whatever. As long as you don't talk about politics or religion, you're fine.
Good.
Quite often find watching people at parties, because that's what I do. It sounds creepy, but I watch people at parties, and quite often if the dance floor is full and there's some crazy people doing some silly dancing on the dance floor, you'll quite often see people strike up a conversation, and you can tell they don't really know each other that well, but they're discussing somebody being silly on the dance floor or somebody doing something a bit crazy and out there. And so that in itself can create some sort of spark. But, we've talked about before even things like having a pool table or, simple things like that, games and that sort of thing, where you get other people to join in, and that then creates, people to mingle and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Obviously, you've got to be careful, I think, in that, you don't want to create too much other things that will help people mingle, but if you want everyone on the dance floor and you've set up all these games and stuff, and then it can take away from the party sometimes. I did a 40th once, and they had a street performer, and he did juggling and a whole heap of other stuff. And because he pulled different people into his performance, and he incorporated them, so that was good, and they made it enjoyable for them. But then that was a talking point afterwards. So like the drag queen, that the performer had done his thing, and everyone went, "Oh, you were so funny doing that juggling."
Exactly right.
Don't know that person from a bar.
No.
So, but then it struck up that conversation. So exactly like your drag queen or similar sort of scenario. It's a good talking point, and that's what you really want. So it's good to get everyone to, I guess, mingle, because otherwise your party's going to be a bit stiff and and even as far as if you know the people on the dance floor, you're more likely to want to go and dance with them. You've just been talking to Mary in the corner for half an hour, and you feel like she's your new best friend. She said, "Do you want to come and dance?" You go, "Yeah, sure, no worries." So you want to go and enjoy the party with them as well. So that's why it is really important to mingle.
So, it just breaks the ice.
It does. It does.